they're not listening to what the words "Make America Great Again" mean. Okay, it's not make America worse, make America be disrespected by other countries. It's make America great again.
A phenomenon was happening that the rest of the political class didn't see. All these so-called political geniuses in Washington, whether it be at the big lobbying firms or
the only person who's called himself a genius in the last week is the president. But
which because happens to be a true statement.
Okay.
A self-made billionaire who revolutionized reality TV and who has changed the course of our politics.
He's watching and he's happy that you said that. But
Jake, you can be condescending.
I'm not being condescending. I'm trying to get to the point that Steve Bannon.
You can be condescending. That was a snide remark. You're sure he's watching and he's happy. Let me tell you something.
Why is
your
that
network? You can be as condescending as you want. It's part of your MO. But listen, you can have 24/7.
I have no idea why you're attacking me.
Well, I'll explain to you.
My point is,
I'll tell you why I'm attacking you.
Steve Bannon,
Jake, you can have a 24/7.
Push the president's travel ban. He helped pull out.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's one of the fake news items in the book.
Stephen,
I would happen to know better than you would, Jake, about how the travel ban was written. Steve Bannon didn't push the travel ban.
If you would let me,
Steve Bannon wasn't right.
If you let me ask this
No,
question.
because you get 24 hours of negative anti-Trump hysterical coverage on this network that led in recent weeks to some spectacularly embarrassing false reporting.
I think the
from your
viewers
network
right now can ascertain who's being hysterical.
The viewers are entitled to have 3 months of the truth. Why don't you just give me 3 minutes to tell you the truth about Donald Trump that I know and then all of our campaign staff
because it's my show and I don't want to do that.
Okay, so that means everything that he's trying to do is in the interest of America. Trade. He's looking out for America, okay? When it comes to natural resources, he's looking out for American jobs. When it comes to taxes, he wants to put the government back into the hands of the American people and not the Democrats, which wants to control the government. And I'm hoping in 2018, the people will start to see the purpose of a revolution of having someone like a Donald Trump get into office. You will never, ever, ever, ever see another Donald Trump in the office because they didn't expect the first Donald Trump to get into the office.
The president's tweets absolutely reaffirmed the plain-spoken truth. A self-made billionaire revolutionized reality TV and tapped into something magical that's happening in the hearts of this country. The people that you don't...
The president has approval rating in the 30s. I don't know what magical you're talking about.
The people that you don't connect with and understand, the people whose manufacturing jobs have left, who've been besieged by high-crime communities, and who've been affected by a policy of uncontrolled immigration, those voices, those experiences don't get covered on this network. That's why, to prove the point, I was booked to talk about the very issues I'm just describing, and you're not even asking about them because they're not interesting facts to you.
That's not true. I have plenty of questions on immigration. You've attempted to filibuster by talking about your flight to the president.
I
want to ask you a question because
don't be condescending, Jake.
Stephen,
Jake,
the president and the White House.
The reason why I want to talk about
the president and the White House.
The reason why I want to talk about the president's experiences, what I've seen with him traveling to meet dozens of foreign leaders, with his incredible work.
Okay, you're not answering the questions.
No,
I understand.
You have 24 hours a day of anti-Trump material, and you're not going to give 3 minutes for the American people to hear the real experience of Donald Trump.
There's one viewer that you care about right now, and you're being obsequious. You're being a factotum in order to please him. Okay. And I think I've wasted enough of my viewers' time.
You know who I care about?
As Republicans, lawmakers call for Attorney General Jeff Sessions to resign.
They did not expect someone from the outside to come in and disrupt their little nest egg. The way that the system works, Democrats, Republicans, even though they're on opposite sides, they're all playing the same game. They control the government. They control the rules. They control the laws. They control the policies. So they set them up to benefit the government.
This guy's holy. It is a fact, and you will not deny it. And the powers of the president are very substantial and will not be questioned.
There are very few people that I can think of in the world who are as evil as and was as evil as contrary to that which is humane as Zbigniew Brzezinski, who's dead. And let me say something. I know he's got a family. To his daughter Mika.
Zbig Brzezinski. Zbigniew Brzezinski was counselor for strategic and international studies, professor of American foreign policy at Johns Hopkins, national security advisor to President Jimmy Carter, trustee and founder of the Trilateral Commission, member of the Council on Foreign Relations, international advisor to several major corporations, associate of Henry Kissinger, also worked for Ronald Reagan in intelligence capacities. Co-chairman of the Bush National Security Advisory Task Force in 1988. What a guy. Zbig. Now, if you want to get really, 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 really angry, go buy this book. It's called The Grand Chessboard. The most immediate task is to make certain that no state or combination of states gains the capacity to expel the United States from Eurasia, or even to diminish significantly its decisive arbitration role. In the long run, global politics are bound to become increasingly uncongenial to the concentration of hegemonic power in the hands of a single state. Hence, America is not only the first as well as the only truly global superpower, but is also likely to be the very last. And what does he say that's going to happen? He says that the United States will fold into a one-world government in which all nations will cease to exist, run by corporations. I'm paraphrasing it. Now, hold your breath. Very last pages in the book. Moreover, as America becomes an increasingly multicultural society, it may find it more difficult to fashion a consensus on foreign policy issues except in the circumstance of a truly massive and widely perceived direct external threat.
And will not be questioned. Our opponents, the media, the whole world will soon see, as we begin to take further actions, that the power of the president to protect our country are very substantial and will not be questioned.
Trump calling Joe Scarborough Psycho Joe has caused to resurface the supposed accidental death of Joe Scarborough's intern, 28-year-old Lori Klausustis. She was found dead in then House of Representatives member Joe Scarborough's office on July 20th, 2001, with a huge gash on her head. It would have been deemed murder, except for the medical examiner's deceptive autopsy report. Medical examiner Dr. Michael Birkeland, who should have been excluded from performing the autopsy for being a friend and huge donor to Joe Scarborough's congressional re-election, created a twisted explanation of why Lori Klausustis had a huge gash on her head. He stated that she had a heart arrhythmia and fainted, hitting her head while falling down. The fact that Lori Klausustis had never been diagnosed with a heart arrhythmia. The fact that she was a marathon runner. The fact that she was in tip-top condition should have sent up red flags. Further, when in September of 2012, Birkeland was arrested after it was discovered he had a huge cache of human body parts in a storage unit, every single autopsy that he had ever performed, including that of Lori Klausustis, must be questioned. Birkeland had a literal house of horrors in his storage unit, and the question must be asked, was Lori Klausustis' remains also in this storage unit?
Do you feel like you and your staff there that you're in control of events at the White House?
I think to say that we're in control would be a substantial understatement.
We have equal branches of government in this country. The judiciary is not supreme.
There's no such thing as judicial supremacy. What the judges did, both at the 9th and at the district level, was to take power for themselves that belonged squarely in the hands of the President of the United States.
Stephen, the 3 judges say you're flat wrong.
No, the 3 judges made a broad, overreaching statement.
This is an ideological disagreement between those who believe we should have borders and should have controls, and those who believe there should be no borders and no controls.
This is a judicial usurpation of power. The end result of this, though, is that our opponents, the media, and the whole world will soon see, as we begin to take further actions, that the powers of the president to protect our country are very substantial and will not be questioned.
And the bottom line is the president's powers in this area represent the apex of executive authority.
We will have unquestioned military strength beyond anything anybody can imagine.
We have a president who has done more in 3 weeks than most presidents have done in an entire administration.
Saying that we stand with our ally, having the 2 men appear on camera worldwide to all of planet Earth, was a statement that will be understood very well by North Korea.
I'm not going to make a comment on that. I don't have any information on it. I do want to say that Sean Spicer, as always, is 100% correct, and that what he said is true and important, and I agree with it.
So then you are making a comment on it.
I'm not going to make any new comment. It is a fact, and you will not deny it, that there are massive numbers of non-citizens in this country who are registered to vote. That is a scandal. We should stop the presses. That's the story we should be talking about, and I'm prepared to go on any show, anywhere, anytime, and repeat it and say the President of the United States is correct 100%.
100%.